Το Πολιτιστικό Ίδρυμα του Ομίλου Πειραιώς σας καλεί να παρακολουθήσετε το ιστορικό οπτικοακουστικό τεκμήριο με τίτλο Blueprint for Progress, μέρος της αντίστοιχης συλλογής του Ιστορικού του Αρχείου. Γυρισμένη το 1965 και διάρκειας 25 λεπτών, η ταινία αποτελεί μια εναλλακτική ματιά, σήμερα και εναλλακτική ιστορική πηγή, της εικόνας της Ελλάδας στη μεταπολεμική περίοδο και μάλιστα κατά τη φάση της ανασυγκρότησής της. Με τον εμπνευσμένο τίτλο Blueprint for Progress, Σχέδια για την ανάπτυξη, αποτυπώνει τόσο τις προσδοκίες όσο και τις δυνατότητες για οικονομική ανάπτυξη και εξυγχρονισμό της χώρας. Η ταινία αποτέλεσε μία από τις πρώτες ενέργειες της Ελληνικής Τραπέζης Βιομηχανικής Αναπτύξεως, της ΕΤΒΑ. Στόχος της ήταν να προσελκυστούν επενδύσεις από την ξένη αγορά. Και είναι κυρίως η αμερικανική επιχειρηματική κοινότητα αυτή που προσκαλείται να επενδύσει στην Ελλάδα, η οποία περιγράφεται ως μια μικρή χώρα αποφασισμένη να αναπτυχθεί, βασιζόμενη στον συνδυασμό ενός λαμπρού παρελθόντος και ενός δυναμικού παρόντος. Σύμφωνα με την ταινία, η κατάσταση στην Ελλάδα παρήχει στις εταιρείες πολλούς καλούς λόγους να επεκτείνουν τη δραστηριότητά τους στη χώρα. Ευχάριστο κλίμα και λαμπρό πολιτιστικό περιβάλλον, χαμηλό κόστος ζωής, τη στέγης συμπεριλαμβανομένης, καλό φαγητό αλλά και εξαιρετικά ξένα σχολεία καταγράφονται μεταξύ των παραγόντων που θα μπορούσαν να κινητοποιήσουν τους επενδυτές. Το χαμηλό κόστος εργασίας ενός εγχώριου τεχνικά καταρτισμένου προσωπικού και η πληθώρα των ευκαιριών που αναμένονταν να προκύψουν από την επικείμενη ένταξη της Ελλάδας στην κοινή ευρωπαϊκή αγορά προβάλλονταν ως ιδιαίτερα ελκυστικά επιχειρήματα. Η ΕΤΒΑ είχε ιδρυθεί το Σεπτέμβριο του 1964 από τη συνένωση κρατικών οργανισμών, μεταξύ των οποίων ο Οργανισμός Βιομηχανικής Αναπτύξεως, που ιδρύθηκε το 1960 πρικοδοτούμενος με $40 εκατομμύρια από το ελληνικό κράτος, εμπορικές τράπεζες και άλλους κρατικούς οργανισμούς. Σκοπός του ήταν η επιτάχυνση της εκβιομηχάνησης της ελληνικής οικονομίας με την ίδρυση νέων εταιριών ή την υποστήριξη υπαρχουσών στην προσπάθειά τους να επεκταθούν και να εξυγχρονιστούν. Προκειμένου να ενθαρρύνει δυνητικά επενδυτικά εγχειρήματα, ο οργανισμός παρήχε συμμετοχή στο μετοχικό κεφάλαιο, βοήθεια στις διαπραγματεύσεις με τις κρατικές υπηρεσίες, το ελληνικό τραπεζικό σύστημα και τα συναφή επιμελητήρια, καθώς και πληροφόρηση και μελέτες σκοπιμότητας σχετικά με διάφορους τομείς της οικονομίας. Με στραμμένο το ενδιαφέρον του στα αμερικανικά κεφάλαια, ο ΟΒΑ απέκτησε το 1963 γραφείο στη Νέα Υόρκη. Την ίδια χρονιά ανέπτυξε ένα πρόγραμμα δημοσίων σχέσεων ύψους $50.000, εκπονημένο από τη γνωστή τότε αμερικανική διαφημιστική εταιρεία Ruder & Finn. Το πρόγραμμα προέβλεπε την παραγωγή μιας ταινίας σχετικά με τις δυνατότητες της Ελλάδας, η οποία θα πεζόταν σε κινηματογράφους και τηλεοπτικά δίκτυα των Ηνωμένων Πολιτειών και άλλες χώρες. Για τον περιορισμό του κόστους θα αξιοποιούνταν μέρη ενός τεκμηριωτικού φιλμ του 1961 με τίτλο «Hellas, a Country of Dreams» του Σάιν Βόλφγανγκ Μίλλερ. Διάφορα προωθητικά φυλάδια που σχεδιάστηκαν για να παρέχουν πληροφόρηση σχετικά με το πού και πώς μπορούσε να επενδύσει κανείς στην Ελλάδα, τη χώρα του μέλλοντος, ήταν μέρος της ίδιας επικοινωνιακής πολιτικής του ΟΒΑ και το περιεχόμενό τους ήταν ανάλογο της ταινίας που θα παρακολουθήσετε. Φαίνεται λοιπόν ότι η ταινία Blueprint for Progress ήταν πρωτοβουλία του ΟΒΑ που υλοποιήθηκε από την ΕΤΒΑ ως διάδοχος φορέας με αντίστοιχη στοχοθεσία. Αξίζει να σημειωθεί ότι η ίδια, το επόμενο διάστημα λειτουργίας της, επιδίωξε αντίστοιχους στόχους, χρηματοδοτώντας τεκμηριωτικές ταινίες σχετικά με τη βιομηχανική ανάπτυξη στην Ελλάδα. Τέτοια ταινία ήταν η παραγωγή του 1968, η ΕΤΒΑ παρουσιάζει την ελληνική βιομηχανία, του Κώστα Γαζιάδη, όπου καταγράφονται οι σχετικές πρόοδοι και οι ενέργειες της τράπεζας, επίσης για την προσέλκυση ξένων επενδύσεων στη χώρα. Ελπίζουμε ότι η ταινία που ακολουθεί διατηρεί και σήμερα το ενδιαφέρον της.
Greece, the land where the seed of civilization blossomed to the timeless splendor that gave history the golden age of Western man. Greece, the cradle of democracy, of literature, of art and architecture, a land with a proud past and a brilliant future. A nation on the threshold of a new and dynamic period of development, in production, in commerce, and in international trade. Here then is Greece today, a blueprint for progress. "2,000 years ago, Greece was the hub of international trade. Throughout the centuries, Greece has enjoyed its geographical advantage on the trade routes from Asia, the Middle East, and a rapidly expanding industrial Europe. Many of the world's leading industries are capitalizing on the present and future potential afforded by Greek access to major markets. For generations, Greece has been doing business in these areas. The Greeks are known and respected. They have gained the confidence of the people, the businessmen, and their governments. This industrial complex now taking shape in northern Greece is led by the newly formed Esso Pappas Industrial Company. When completed, it will be one of the largest and most complete petrochemical industries in all of Greece. In central Greece, the Parsons Whitmore Company of Canada is turning out close to 150 tons of pulp and printing paper each day, using local wheat byproducts which formerly went to waste. Near Athens is the Famar plant, a major producer of drugs and medicines. Famar is associated with the Charles Pfizer Pharmaceutical Company of the United States. The Philips Electronics Company of Holland, having experienced a tremendous success in a few short years, has outgrown its present plant in Athens, and construction of this larger one has recently begun. The Greek plastics industry was sparked by the establishment of Dow Chemical, south of Athens. As a result, a wide range of packaging materials, housewares, and toys are now available to the major markets in the Mediterranean area. Mercedes-Benz of Germany, the Pirelli Tire Company of Italy, the Fulgor Wire and Cable Company of France, and a great many more of the leading industrial organizations of the world are taking advantage of the unique opportunities provided by geography, labor, and Greek know-how. Perhaps the most dramatic example of foreign industrial investment can be seen in this tremendous aluminum project in central Greece. Aluminum of Greece is a new organization representing the combined interests of Pechenay of France, Reynolds Aluminum of the United States, and the Niarchos interests of Greece. With completion scheduled for late 1965, this complex will be the third largest in all of Europe. Here under construction are aluminum and alumina plants, deep water quays, and a new small city with modern housing for all employees and executives, and up-to-date educational, recreational, and medical facilities. The training of Greek personnel has become a point of major emphasis by management. Greek engineers, technicians, and foremen are now being trained under a long-term program in the Pechenay factories in France, and here on the job in Greece. These training schools will provide the necessary upgrading of the Greek labor force to meet the demands of this new and far-reaching enterprise. Probably the prime reason for this recent spurt of industrialization has been the election of Greece to the common market of Europe. As an associate member, Greece should certainly be considered by those wanting to sell their products in Western Europe. The planned tariff wall, which will soon surround these countries, will make it difficult for non-member nations to sell in this area. Even now, the tariff on products manufactured in Greece has been reduced by almost 60%. And it is probable that by 1969, no duties will be imposed at all. To handle this increased industry, the Greeks are constantly improving their network of transportation and communications. Modern roads now join the industrial areas from Salonika in the north, through central Greece, to Athens, Corinth, and Patras in the south. Many additional miles are being added every year. Transportation by rail forms a link between the mainland of Greece and the major cities of Europe and the Middle East. Trains from Patras and Corinth run through Athens to Salonika, where they merge with international lines, such as the famed Orient Express. The sea, the Aegean, the Mediterranean, throughout history, has been the soul of Greece. The sea, probably more than anything else, has made Greece an independent nation and helped toward her prosperity. Piraeus, just a few minutes from the center of Athens, is the largest of many fine Greek harbors. Millions of tons of merchandise and millions of passengers enter Greece each year through this port alone. The Greek shipyards are among the world's largest and best equipped, and the Greek-owned merchant fleet is one of the largest in the world. To round out its transportation system, Greece is making great strides towards becoming a new major center of international air transportation. At this terminal in Athens, there are more than 120 aircraft arrivals and departures each day. Here, you can find airlines from the leading nations of the world. This rise in air transport has prompted the enormous growth of tourist traffic to Greece over the past 10 years. This drive has been sparked by Olympic Airways, the national airline of Greece. The domestic services of Olympic cover 17 cities throughout the country, with frequent daily flights to all of the industrial centers. Olympic's international services cover 13 principal cities in 8 European countries and 4 countries of the Middle East and Africa. With convenient connections in each of these foreign cities, and with direct service to the United States anticipated shortly, no place in the world is more than a few short hours away from Greece. Greece can also boast of a new and growing telecommunication system. The telephone system is the 5th most automated in Europe and connects its cities and villages with any place in the world. These facilities, transportation and communications, will continue to grow, continue to reduce the distance between Greece and the rest of the world's markets. Another new development is the now plentiful supply of electric power, minerals, and raw materials. The production and distribution of electric power has grown tremendously in recent years. The new thermal and hydroelectric plants which are springing up throughout Greece are designed to meet the needs of expansion. With modern equipment and highly trained personnel, the consumption of power has increased greatly, while the rates have decreased. Now, there is more than enough power available to handle the needs of large industrial units in any part of the country. Of the long list of minerals available in Greece, perhaps the best known to the world is Greek marble. Through the ages, artisans have paid tribute to its high quality by selecting this flawless stone for their immortal masterpieces. Throughout the world, this native Greek mineral is still in great demand. In Greece, marble is relatively inexpensive and is used extensively in the construction of commercial buildings, plants, and homes. Lignite, an important carbon source for the production of electric power and the manufacture of fertilizer, is available in large deposits. Bauxite, iron, zinc, phosphates, and asbestos, all common ores in Greece, provide economical raw materials for many fabricating industries. Over the years, one of the main industries of Greece has been farming. The Mediterranean climate makes it possible to grow more than one crop of most fruits and vegetables each year. This makes Greece an ideal location for food processing and packaging industries. Modern plants such as this new sugar mill in Larissa and this citrus drink plant near Patras have provided farmers with the incentive to improve the quality of their crops and the yield capacity of the land. Modernization has also had its effect on the output of seafood, long a favorite of the Greeks, and on the production of animal and dairy products. This butter plant, which will soon expand to double its capacity, can presently turn out 1 ton of packaged butter per hour. Scientific packaging and processing has increased the quantity of food available at home and has resulted in packaged foods for export. The huge sums of money which the Greek government has invested in developing natural resources will soon place Greece on an equal footing with her associates in the European Economic Community. But modernization doesn't mean only modern factories and automated machines. It also means people. Greece has over 3.5 million people in its labor force. Workers acknowledged to be efficient, intelligent, and resourceful, who with training become proficient in complex industrial and administrative skills. The wage scales in Greece are low. The semi-skilled receive an average of $3 for an 8-hour day. The daily wage of the skilled worker ranges between $4 and $6. Another 40 to 50% must be added for fringe benefits and other charges on salaries. The new technical and managerial skills that usually accompany foreign investment, when combined with low cost and high quality labor, result in very profitable returns. With an eye to the future, Greece is looking inward, intent on developing skills among its own people. A free education program has been established from the primary grades through advanced specialized postgraduate studies. Among the organizations which have recognized the vast industrial potential of Greece is Chrysler International. To demonstrate their faith in this growing economy, they have established a wholly owned subsidiary in Salonika. In this pilot plant, Chrysler Hellas has begun production of a new all-purpose utility vehicle, the Farmmobile. Designed for economy of operation and maintenance, the Farmmobile is ideally suited to underdeveloped countries. Rugged enough to haul livestock, produce, or other heavy supplies, its suspension system shows to best advantage in performing off-the-road jobs. Chrysler feels that the development of this plant in Greece will provide easy access to prime markets for their new product. As production increases and new local supply sources are developed, Greece will take another step toward equal participation with European industries in the common market. How well does the foreign executive live in Greece? Robert Donnell, general manager of Chrysler, gave us the answer. Very well. There are large, well-appointed apartment houses fringing the business and industrial areas of the cities. And these compare very favorably with those found in most progressive American cities. But for the Donnell family, with children, the suburbs seem to be the better choice. Their new home, just 10 minutes from the Chrysler plant, is more than ample for the Donnells, and far less expensive than a comparable home in the States. Naturally, there is more than just housing to be considered in making such a move. At home, these children had been attending very good progressive schools. The foreign investment interests in Greece have seen to it that there are some very fine American, French, and German schools, which in many instances have advantages over those at home. For the Donnell girls, smaller classes mean that the teachers have more time to give them individual attention. Smaller classes also mean faster progress in most academic areas. With a balanced curriculum and high educational standards, these schools are equal to the best to be found anywhere. There is also a never-ending variety of things to do in Greece. In the cities, there are smart shops like this, the Sistovaris Fashion Salon. Here, the ladies can pick up the latest Paris or New York fashions and the fabulous furs of Greece at relatively low prices. There are some very sophisticated restaurants where continental food and exotic dishes are served in the grand manner. And for the late snack, dancing, and a floor show, you may choose from a variety of nightclubs. For those who want to go native, there are many traditional Greek taverns where for a few dollars, a couple may enjoy an evening of fine food, good wine, and delightful music. Living in Greece can be a year-round vacation. The natural treasures found in these surroundings are unsurpassed in any other part of the world. A leisurely walk through the streets of Athens or Salonika will take you to several charming churches, relics of Byzantine times, dating back to the 10th century or even earlier. Or a short drive to the outskirts of the city will give you a new insight into a quaint society, where the charm of tradition still clings. On weekends, a family doesn't have to travel far to spend a quiet and inexpensive few days by the sea. It's hard not to be caught up in the magic of the Greek islands. A weekend odyssey on the blue Aegean can take you to picturesque little villages, most with modern hotels and uncrowded beaches, or to an unspoiled fishing village steeped in tradition, or to smart beach resorts, where a more cosmopolitan atmosphere and the gay life prevails. The lure of the sea has become so strong in recent years that the sailing yacht, once only the pleasure of the very rich, is now within reach of the average enthusiast. Chartering a sailboat has become one of the most popular recreations in Greece. But for the less adventurous soul, there are the cruise ships that make regularly scheduled trips among many of these enchanted islands. There is never enough time to completely explore the vast treasures and antiquities of this incomparable land. The most famous of these is the Acropolis, the ancient citadel of Athens. Crowned by the majestic Parthenon, this shrine dates back to the 5th century BC and stands as a silent witness to some of the world's most exciting history. Or Delphi, where time has virtually stopped. From the sanctuary of Apollo, situated high amid these austere surroundings, to the beautiful temple of Athena, no site could be more proper for the legendary oracle who held court here for over 1,000 years. The Byzantine age of Greece comes alive in the great profusion of monasteries, like this one at Kissarioni, just outside of Athens. In this garden setting, where very little has changed from its 10th century beginnings, one can also find ruins from an earlier temple to the goddess Aphrodite. In central Greece, one of the more impressive sights are these monasteries at Meteora. Perched high atop gigantic pillars of rock, the monasteries are rich with Byzantine art, beautiful icons, and rich mosaics, all dating back to early Christian times. The early inhabitants preferred isolation as a way of life. Until recently, the only way in or out was to be hauled up over 1,000 feet in a rope basket. Fortunately for the present-day visitor, there are now roads to most of these shrines. And of course, there's the beautiful Isle of Rhodes. The walled city, a masterpiece of medieval architecture, is filled with the legend and lore of the Crusades. Just outside the walls lies the harbor, site of one of the 7 wonders of the world. Here once stood the 100-foot-high Colossus of Rhodes, erected by the ancients as a bronze tribute to their sun god. Further down the coast of Rhodes, amid magnificent surroundings, lies Lindos, a beautiful town with medieval houses and a very impressive Byzantine church. Perhaps one of the most beautiful sights in Greece is the ancient Acropolis of Lindos, with its temple of Linda Athena and other historical ruins. Surrounding this summit, the Knights of Rhodes built a huge fortress to protect them from assaults from the east. Below, nestled in the shadow of this rock, is the small cove where St. Paul the Apostle landed on his way to Rome. From the ageless splendor of ancient times, through the Byzantine era, to modern luxurious resorts, this too is part of the blueprint for progress. Greece is now on the threshold of a new golden age. But this time, instead of erecting temples to ancient gods, the Greeks are building modern factories and plants. Among those organizations that wanted to be sure Greece could fulfill this potential and realize its goals was the United States Department of Commerce. To get an accurate assessment, a trade mission was sent to Greece in the closing months of 1964. Heading up this mission was Joseph A. Mack, Deputy Director of the Commerce Department's Office of Field Services.
This is the fourth time a trade mission has gone to Greece. This time we took along experts from the fields of investment and licensing, industrial machinery and machine tools, food processing, chemical and agricultural products, and equipment. The Greeks fully cooperated with us. Through their chambers of commerce, various business organizations, and of course the government, we were able to set up panel discussions and private meetings in Athens, Thessaloniki, and Patras. We brought with us 380 business proposals from American businessmen and were able to get action, or at least an intent, on 190 of these cases. In all, about 360 specific contacts between Greek and American businessmen were arranged. The political and economic climate of Greece is fairly favorable and probably accounts for the current interest on the part of foreign investors. The government's policy on foreign investments are sound. They have set up safeguards against expropriation, confiscatory taxation, and follow a liberal policy in the granting of dollar exchange for the transfer of equity and loan capital and the remittance of profits and earnings. In this area, we recommend that those of you who are interested in investing review these incentives carefully. And if you are going to Greece, it would be wise to check with the commercial unit at either the embassy in Athens or the consulate general in Thessaloniki. Here at home, there are field offices of the Department of Commerce where you can get whatever information or guidance you need. Another thing that appeals to many American businessmen is that operating in Greece provides an entry into what some consider to be a convenient back door to the common market, and naturally, access to the markets of Western and Eastern Europe and the Middle East. The past 10 years in Greece have seen an economy which is growing, a government which is stable, and peace. The mission members feel that prospects for increased trade and investment and opportunities for joint ventures with the Greeks should improve and be profitable.
Yes, this is Greece today. A small country determined to grow. A country in which the potential of its future is greater than the combined glories of its past. This is Greece and its blueprint for progress.